Welcome back to Good Day State Line. Dr. Nicholas Micka from Caraotta Chiropractic Orthopedics is here to remind us that we can get back to living with chiropractic care. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks so much for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And bringing a spine.
Yes.
It's important, though, I know, with chiropractic to actually be able to see what you're doing for a lot of patients. They like to be able to see it.
Exactly, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a chiropractor. I've been doing chiropractic for probably about 7 years now. And I love what I do. I love helping people. And my whole purpose for being here is just to help people understand more about what I do so that maybe they could see chiropractic as a possible solution for their problems.
A lot of people are, I wouldn't say scared, but just like shy away from it because they don't know what it is.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right.
And, you know, a lot of things that chiropractic deals with is chronic pain, right?
Right.
So tell me about how many Americans live with chronic pain.
Yeah, so there was a report that was done by the Institute of Medicine that showed that 110 million Americans suffer from chronic pain. And the hardest part about my job is just knowing that so many people are hurting and knowing that I can help them, but just not having the opportunity. So.
Right, they have to come in.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to come in to
well,
get
they have
help.
to overcome that fear because people just don't understand it, and so then you're naturally fearful of the things that you don't understand.
And some people have like neck, they get nervous when they talk about anybody touching their neck, so that's another piece.
Absolutely.
Chiropractic talks a lot about the word health, right?
Yes, yeah, so yeah, and that word health is often misunderstood too. So people tend to think that health is how good you feel, and so a bad example is, you know, my mom, she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And when she was diagnosed, it just really threw us all for a loop because just a few weeks prior to that, you know, we were celebrating Christmas and she looked good, she felt good. And, you know, if you had asked her, are you healthy? And she would have said, yeah, I feel great.
Sure.
But she wasn't healthy.
Right.
She wasn't healthy at all. And so health is not how you feel. Health is actually how functional you are. And so that's what I try to my patients. I try to explain that's really what health is actually having function. 100% function is really the correct way to define it. So the World Health Organization, they actually define health as 100% function. And so that's what I try to bring the spine back to. Not necessarily saying, you know, do you hurt here or do you hurt here? It's more about, okay, where are you dysfunctional? Finding that place where it's dysfunctional and then restoring the proper motion of the spine.
Do most people have the ability to be 100% functional?
Yes, everybody.
Okay. That's
everybody
good to know.
Yeah, so it's, and that's, thank you for bringing that up because most people think that it's, you know, how healthy you were when you were 20. You know? It's just how your max capacity now. And most people do not operate at their max potential, and so then their body degenerates at a quicker rate as a result.
So you brought this spine, and you're going to show us what a healthy spine looks like, right?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah. So it's important to understand that a healthy spine, with the limited time that I have, you know, I'll just cover just the nuts and bolts. There's more to this, but just on a very basic level, the spine, in order for it to be healthy, it has to move properly. So the spine, there's a lot going on here, and I won't go into all of it, but you've got a series of joints here on each side of the spine, and these joints should move properly. And so let me just take this off here.
Okay.
So the spine should move with just good motion. It's designed to move properly. Now when the spine does not move, just gravity, trauma, car accidents, the birthing process, you name it, can damage the spine and actually cause restrictions in these joints. And so that restriction, let's say there's a restriction in this joint here, it locks that joint down. And when that happens, now all of a sudden you may hurt, you may not hurt from that. But the spine that's intended to move properly now has to move without that joint. So one example that I give my patients, I'll tell them, you know, this is kind of like a football team, if you will.
Okay.
So each one of these segments, if they were their own, you know, a single player on that team, the entire team needs to be functioning at 100%. If any of these team players, they just sit out of the game and they lock up and they're not moving the way they're supposed to, the rest of the team has to pick up the slack.
Makes sense.
Right, and so then they start to wear down, and then they start to lock up, and then you just end up with this, you know, cascade of issues.
So even though you might be feeling pain with one of the players of the team, it might really be a different player that's causing it.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
So tell me what is a chiropractor doing when you come to visit?
Yeah, okay, yeah, great question. So what we do, it just basically put, so when the spine locks up, I'm looking to see which segments move, which ones don't move. So I'm looking to see any kind of asymmetry in the spine. And so when the person lays on the table, I'm palpating, I'm feeling the spine, and then I look to see where those joints lock up. And so which joints are stuck. That when a joint does not move properly, over time, that creates more and more spinal tension. That will create pressure on the nerves. You'll get muscle tension as well with that. And so I very simply just unlock those joints, and then the body's able to heal itself.
So you're going to show a little bit on me on what you would do, casually in a dress, standing up.
Yeah.
So come on over.
So chiropractic has come a long way. So I'll just show you what just a normal assessment would look like for the neck. It's very straightforward. All that I do, I palpate the neck. So chiropractors are very good at just feeling with their hands. So I can tell right off the bat, your neck is, you have a deviation to the left of these vertebrae here, so it's probably more tender on this side than this. And so that also means that this side here will move a little bit better. So when I take you around here, these joints, they move a little better. When I come to this side, look down to the right, you have less motion on these segments. So what I'm looking for, these segments here, like this one here, might only move, this one probably only moves about 20% of what it should.
Okay.
And these guys over here, this side moves pretty well. Now, what I would do is I would set up right here. So if a person, a lot of times people just don't like that popping noise. All that the popping noise is, so let's say that joint that I just, I was picking on there, I were to take that through its full range of motion, which is probably about 20%. So I take it to its end range of motion, and I'd give it a little nudge, and you might hear a popping noise. And that pop is just that release, that joint releasing so it can move again. Now, chiropractic has come a long ways where we can use a tool like this, we can use a tool like this. So these kind of things. So these instruments, we can actually use these instead of the manual, and you won't get the pop. And so that helps ease a lot of people's fears there too. But they work just as well. They're very well researched and excellent instruments too. So.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm sure you have plenty more information if anyone needed to find you. Where would they go?
Well, to our website, orthochiro.com. Our phone number is 815-398-4004.
Perfect. And orthochiro.com is actually really easy to remember too.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
There's nothing like the Manly experience, and coming up, Michelle sits down with Hannah and Manly Motors and a couple of friends to share their love of all things Manly. We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline.